Hello, and thanks for joining me. We're just going to get right into it today. No prefacing, no sort of like preamble or any sort of introductory discussion. Just carving out the time and space to connect to yourself and create some space. So let's get started on our backs. Go ahead and lie down and draw the knees in towards the chest, hugging them in. Maybe finding a gentle rock from side to side. Finding some length in the back of the neck. And just finding your breath here. Just observing. No need to change or fix it. Just stay curious. Maybe the breath is a little bit short or jagged, or it's flowing evenly and continuous. And wherever it is, just allowing it to be. And then go ahead and let the knees fall wide and come into some big knee circles, going a few times in one direction and then in the other direction. So just feeling into the hips, starting to bring some gentle movements into the body. And then after your next rotation, go ahead and plant the feet down, keeping the knees bent, and we'll move into rolling bridge. So you're welcome to incorporate the arms in this movement, or maybe just letting them lie somewhere on the ground. And so pressing the feet down and really lifting the hips up, letting the spine slowly lift. And then as you release back down, laying the spine back down on the ground. So we'll do that a few times. An invitation to coordinate breath with this movement. Just finding some articulation in the spine. Pressing down through the feet as you lift the hips up. And then reversing the movement as you slowly lower the spine back down. A couple more times here. And this time when you lift the hips, let's stay. And we'll find a stationary bridge pose. So really pressing down through the feet. Be squeezing the glutes, feeling some activation here in the lower body. And again, maybe keeping the arms down on the ground or interlacing the hands underneath the back and finding a bit of more of a chest opener in this bridge pose. So tailbone lengthening towards the back of the knees. Just pausing here as you breathe deeply. And then wherever you are, begin to lower yourself back down and hug the knees back in towards the chest. And we're going to make our way into tabletop position. So maybe you'd like to take a couple rock and rolls of the spine, or however you'd like to meet in tabletop. Find your way. Coming onto all fours. And just taking a moment to wave out the spine. Maybe it's through some cat-cow or some barrel rolls. Just finding a little bit of movement here in table. Doesn't have to look any certain way. Just what feels nourishing in your body. All right. And then begin to walk the hands forward towards the top of the mat. And we're going to come into puppy pose. So arms are going to reach long. Hips are going to stay lifted as the heart melts down towards the earth. An option to plant the forehead down. Maybe the chin comes down. Seeing what's available in your practice today. And just find a nice, steady breath. If arms extended long is a little bit too much, you're welcome to plant the forearms down and release the head down to the ground as well. So finding what suits your body today. Slow, steady breath. And then begin to walk the hands in towards you as the hips go to the heels, gliding the hands back as you stack the spine. And coming to a seat on the shins. And just taking a moment to settle. Finding a breath in. And maybe an audible exhale out. Good. Go ahead and plant the hands back down on the mat. Tuck the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Sending the hips up high. Maybe pedaling out the feet. And then we'll gaze up at the hands and let's take a slow step up towards the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Maybe keeping a generous bend in the knees. Option to grab for opposite elbows, find ragdoll with a gentle sway. And then release the hands back down to the ground. Inhale, find length, coming to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Twice more like that, finding a ripple in the spine. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, float yourself back down. Once more, inhale, halfway, and exhale, release. Deep bend in the knees. Inhale as you press down to lift all the way up. And then find some wave in the spine here. So a little bit of cat-cow in the spine, opening in the chest, and maybe a little rounding in the back. And then we'll meet in chair pose. So exhale, hands to heart center as the hips sink down. Chest stays lifted. And then we're going to take a twist. So exhaling, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh and finding a chair twist. Shoulder blades draw together. And then take a big step back with the left foot. And then the back knee drops. Option to stay here or come into exalted low lunge. Maybe hand comes to the sacrum or drips down the back of the thigh. And just really think about growing out of the left hip. So reaching out of the left hip all the way through the left fingertips. Big breath here. On your next exhale, cartwheel the hands on the inside of the foot and we'll find lizard pose. So maybe lengthening the leg back and walking the right foot out a little bit. Sometimes it can help create more space by coming onto the pinky edge side of the foot. And just finding lizard pose. Maybe finding a little rock or finding stillness. And then your choice to stay here or come into a lizard twist. So keep the left hand planted. Maybe right hand comes to the thigh as you open up towards the right. Or option to grab for the foot. Rolling the shoulders down and back to puff up the heart. And just finding steadiness here. Pausing and holding as you breathe deeply. And then if you're in the twist, releasing out of it, bringing hands back to the mat, maybe walking the foot back in towards center. Hands plant, and we're going to lift the back knee and then plant the back heel and open up warrior two. Adjusting your feet and your stance to meet the body. And then inhale, flip the front palm, come back, reverse warrior. Breathing into the right side body. And then exhale, release the hands down to the mat. High Skandasana, back of the mat. Turning towards the back of the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale out. Gaze up at the hands. Take a slow walk to meet the hands, coming into forward fold. A few rinses of the spine. Inhale, find length. Exhale, float back down. Ride the breath here. Twice more. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Once more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release down. Good. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, press down to lift all the way up. And once more, find that wave of the spine. Good. Arms can move in a way that feels natural. Good. Kind of like one of those waving inflatable figures outside like a car wash or something. Anyway, we'll meet in chair pose, hands at heart center as the hips sink, chest stays lifted. And this time we will find our chair twist towards the left. So bringing right elbow on the outside of the left thigh, rotating yourself towards the left, finding your breath, staying connected here. And then big step back with the right foot. Dropping the back knee, and then coming into exalted low lunge. Staying here for a couple rounds of breath. Really reaching out of that right hip. Feeling this nice long line of energy. Good. And then exhale, release the hands to the inside of the foot and make your way into lizard pose. So maybe walking that left foot out towards the edge of the mat, lengthening that back leg. And your choice, finding movement or stillness. Breathing here. And then if you'd like to come into this lizard twist, keep the right hand planted and twist over towards the left. Maybe left hand stays on the thigh or grabs for the foot. Rolling the shoulders back. Chest opens. Big breath here. Good. Releasing the foot and the hand, walking the foot towards center, having both hands frame the left foot, lift that back knee, plant the heel, open up, warrior two. Adjusting your stance, arms reach long. And then flip the front palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Big breath into the left side of the body. And this time we'll exhale, come back into warrior two. And then inhale, turn the toes in, heels out slightly. Hinge from the hips. Find a wide-legged forward fold as you exhale. Letting everything pour out. Welcoming any hums or audible exhales. And then we'll find length here, creating some space. Turn the heels in, toes out slightly. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, sink into goddess pose. Be bringing hands to heart center. Finding an external rotation of the thighs. And pressing down evenly through both feet. Nice fluid breath here. And then go ahead and release the hands to the thighs. And we'll come into a little bit of a shoulder stretch. So on your next exhale, go ahead and dip the right shoulder in towards center. And then inhale to center. And exhale, dip the left shoulder. A couple more times with your breath. Inhale, coming to center. And exhale, finding a little bit of a shoulder stretch. Good. Once more. And then this time, inhale yourself back to center, extending the legs long. And then we'll heel toe the feet in a little bit closer and sink down into Malasana squat. So arms can be pressing into the thighs to help create some more space. Chest stays lifted. Spine is long. And then go ahead and find a seat. Coming into Sukhasana, good space pose. Just taking a moment to roll out the shoulders. A simple movement, such as shoulder rolls, feels so good in my body. Kind of an underestimated movement that can feel so good and create so much opening. Especially if we work at a job where we're sitting at a desk or on a computer all day. Good. And then release the shoulders down the back. Drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. And just find some opening in the neck. Maybe staying here, or option to play around with extending the arm long. Sometimes here is just good enough for me. I can feel it from my neck all the way to my shoulder. Good. Inhale yourself up to center and exhale, drop right ear to right shoulder. Pausing for a breath or two. Inhale the head back to center. Maybe taking a moment as we close out our practice with the eyes closed and just finding your breath. Noticing the effects of your practice. Any shifts in energy, mood, vibration, sensation. And just being an observer to it all. And then bringing your hands to heart center. And thanking yourself for carving out the time and space for you today. And I hope that this practice was of benefit and creates a ripple effect into the rest of your day. Namaste.